In this video, we're going to talk about 5 things that totally surprised us during labor.
No matter how much you prepare, labor has a way of throwing some unexpected moments in.
And some of these things shock Steven even more than me.
Yeah. I regret nothing except maybe number 3. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Steven and this is JK. Between the two of us, we've practiced family medicine for over 25 years and we've taught childbirth education for the last decade. We've had 4 incredible natural childbirths and I've been able to be a part of them with JK, coaching her and supporting her every step of the way. And these are the 5 things that surprised us most during our labors. Let's dive right in.
All right, so the first thing that was very unexpected was the time during my second labor where I had a gush of fluid. So definitely it can happen where your water breaks and it's like the movies, right? Where it's just a gush.
Yeah.
Lots of water coming out all at once. And I was at the pool and then I went to take a shower and all of a sudden I saw that gush.
Yeah.
It was just like whoosh, waterworks coming out. And I was so shocked. And I remember I told you, and then we thought labor had started.
Yeah, we were super excited. We went and prepared. We're like, okay, we had a baby at that time. So we're like, let's get some food, let's get home, let's get ready for this labor process to kick in.
Yeah.
And then
it wasn't it. Apparently the midwife said that I just had kind of retained water from the pool. And then
which sounds crazy, right? Like, how many times have you gone swimming in your life? How many times has water from the pool gone up your vagina, like your vagina is just swallowing water?
I've never had that.
Right, yeah. So the second thing that they said made a little bit more sense, right? So they were like...
I can't even remember.
They're like, sometimes the amniotic sac can actually have a little bit of a leak, and then it can seal back up on its own.
That's definitely what it was, but it was just kind of crazy how much water came out because it was really like a gush of fluid. I did not expect that.
Maybe it was your vagina that swallowed some pool water and spat it back out.
I don't know. In any case, water coming out the vagina is a thing. I mean, it can happen. So if it leaks, as long as it seals back up, I mean, that was the part that I was so happy about.
Yeah, totally. And you knew it wasn't urine.
No, for sure. Yeah,
100% wasn't urine.
No, it did not smell like
you peed
that
in the pool.
at all. What? No, it was definitely either water from the pool, like chlorinated water, or it was amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
We will never know because we didn't test, but...
Yeah, that was a surprise though.
That was a surprise.
Absolutely.
And I did end up going into labor shortly after. So, I mean, it kind of falls in line with it being a leak that sealed up.
Yeah, that's the most likely thing.
Yeah, so that was super shocking.
And surprise number 2 during our labors was how long labor can be.
Yes, so I knew labor could be long, but I definitely didn't expect my first labor to be 30 hours long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, you can prepare Lizo's a marathon, but it's so much harder when you have no idea how many miles you've got to run to end this race.
Exactly. And it was like every time things were kind of picking up, it was just like, nope. Like, you're going to keep going. So, and then at one point, you know, remember when my labor stalled out completely?
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I had no contractions. I had no contractions for almost 24 hours, actually.
Yeah.
And so that was really, I was pretty freaked out at first. But then once I kind of came back into my mind about what we knew about labor, we realized it could be normal.
Yeah, and that was huge. So having the support of our childbirth educator at the time, Susan McCutcheon, was so big. Because as a resident who had worked on L&D, and knowing that your water was broken for that amount of time.
That's true. My water had been broken.
I was definitely...
Where were you at?
Man, I was thinking all the things, like if we were in the hospital right now, we would be getting Pitocin. You probably would end up getting choreo or something from checks, probably end up getting a C-section.
Oh, if I had a lot of vaginal exams.
Yeah, like...
I wouldn't have wanted that though, but yes.
Yeah, so I I was definitely in need of some people and expertise from our midwives and from Susan to reassure me that everything was normal and that everything was going to be okay. And everything was.
Yeah. And Susan was our childbirth educator.
Yeah.
So she was super encouraging because I remember we called and she definitely just let us know.
Yeah, she was like, hey, your body's taking a break.
Exactly. And that's what I needed to hear, because that day of rest was everything.
Yeah.
Because then the next day when it picked back up, I was ready to go the rest of the way. But I just didn't have in my mind that labor was going to be that long.
Yeah.
And so.
And like stop and go.
And, you know, you're thinking when it starts, you're going to have your baby that day. And no, that's not how labor works.
Yeah.
It's different for every woman. So that was one of the things that was super surprising, but within the realm of normal. It's so important to actually understand the different variations of normal. And so when you're in the labor process, it doesn't completely throw you off, especially if you really want to have a natural childbirth, which was one of my goals. So yeah, I mean, that's why we do what we do, teaching other folks how to get through labor, what it's like, what to expect, and all the different ways that labor can kind of manifest before you get to meet your baby.
And the education is so huge. The reason why I decided to help teach was to help dads become and partners become like doulas for moms, to know what's going on, not just be a fly on the wall, kind of going with the flow, but actually being involved, having knowledge about how to support moms and keep them safe, and just like really being invested in pregnancy and birth of the kid, which is so crucial.
Right.
Just having an awesome start, like being present with the baby and being present with mom through the pregnancy and through the whole labor.
That just goes throughout the child's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And plus, all the stuff that we learned was not stuff that we learned during med school or that I learned during residency. And it was like, this is so valuable. Like, we have to get this information out to people. And so, fellas, I'm talking to you guys. If you want to know how to support moms through labor and pregnancy, check out our Birth Room Academy. It's got tons of great information. I'm teaching the class with JK, given a partner's perspective on what you might be experiencing and the things and the questions that you might have. So check out our birth room.
All right, so the third thing that surprised us during labor was the mucus plug situation.
Let's not talk about that.
No, let's talk about it, because
man.
I lost my mucus plug and you definitely were not ready to see it.
No, I mean, like, I've heard about mucus plugs. I have seen some things through my training and my education, but I was not expecting it to look like that.
Okay, so what is a mucus plug? So the mucus plug it literally is like a glob, like a big glob of snot.
Big glob.
And it's what seals our cervix.
Yeah.
So like the whole pregnancy, it's been there, it's plugged the cervix, so that of course baby doesn't have a way to come out. And then when labor begins, the cervix changes and starts dilating, and then that plug comes out. And it can come out in pieces or gradually, or it could just come out all at once.
Yeah, that time it was like big, like cervix vomit blob. It was like blah.
It was definitely all at once. And I was like so excited to show you. And you were just like, I could see you like physically getting nauseous.
I was like, why is that in your bare hand?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so the mucus plug is definitely something that, I mean, I think it's super fascinating and interesting.
Yeah.
Because, and another thing too, like the glob, it is like snot. It's really, it looks like, for people who are like, what does that look like? It's like,
it was like jello-ish, like.
It's like if you had a sinus infection and then.
That's not better.
Honestly, if you know, you know. When that big snot ball comes out, that's what it looks like. A little bit of tinge with like blood.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is
Yeah.
pretty gross, but
Yeah, it was like Jello.
but I was excited because I knew that my body was changing.
Yeah, it was super exciting.
I was getting
Yes,
close. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not. It was definitely exciting.
You've been scarred for life.
Yeah, the mucus plug, I was not ready for that. I thought that I was ready for anything. I was definitely surprised by that mucus plug.
Oh my gosh.
Something that I'll never forget. Surprise number 4, the bag of water breaking, the pop.
Yes, it literally was a pop.
The pop.
So I knew that my water was probably going to break because the contractions were super intense at that point.
Yeah. So you were in labor. We were in labor.
In labor, in the thick of it. I was feeling those like crazy waves coming back
like
to back.
Getting to transition contractions.
Yes, and then I felt pressure internally, and then yes, it was just a pop, and then water just gushed out.
Yeah.
So again, the water gushed out, but it made sense because I felt my water, actually the bag break.
Yeah.
It burst open, and I wasn't expecting that.
Did it like hurt at all?
No, it didn't hurt at all. It was just so startling. It literally felt like I had a water balloon inside my body that just popped.
Wow. And then like you felt all the liquid just release.
Just coming out. And I was kind of like, I was so startled that I felt like, oh my God, is the baby about to come out? But then, you know, again, came back to my senses. I'm like, oh no, it's my water that broke.
Yeah.
So the baby is coming, but the baby wasn't gonna fall out with the water that was gushing out.
Yeah.
It was more like I needed to give a push or two.
So you felt it.
I felt it.
Could you like hear it at all?
Yeah.
You heard it?
I heard the pop.
Like in your own ears?
Well,
It was like an internal sound?
it was like an internal sensation of a pop,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything?
No.
Okay.
There was no like.
Yeah. You couldn't hear it, but I could feel it, and because I felt it, I heard it, if that makes sense.
I remember your reaction to it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because I was coaching you, and then you like your eyes opened, and then you're like, my bag of water just popped.
Yeah.
And then like there was just all this fluid that came out.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so that I guess I can't say audible pop, but that pop is definitely something that can happen.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Because I didn't have that in the previous births. Like, I just remember, well, you know, the first one, my water had broken first.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I don't really remember feeling it
Yeah.
at all. It just was. But this time it was like so much pressure, and the exact moment it just popped.
Yeah.
So that was definitely surprising.
Yeah.
So the 5th thing that surprised us during labor was how long it takes to fill the birth tub. So I knew, I mean, you know, like filling the birth tub, you need to do it, but I didn't know it would take forever to fill the birth tub.
Yeah.
Like that blow up tub that we rented.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, so
Tell the story. Like,
so we had home births for our second, third, and fourth. For our third and fourth, we didn't have a big enough bathtub, so we got one of those inflatable birth tubs.
super nice with the
they're
handlebars
great.
and the seats and everything.
And they're sterile, they're super clean, they're big, they're very big. But during our third labor, contractions were going on, and I realized I had to get that thing blown up. Right? Like,
it wasn't even blown up yet.
it wasn't even blown up yet. So between contractions, I would run and turn on like that electronic blower, and it was just so
Oh yeah, it was super loud. I
and
was
just,
like,
screeching.
why are we doing this right now in the middle of labor?
And I'm like, I had because you wanted to get in the
I
bathtub.
wanted to get in the tub, and when
so I
I
needed
was
to
like,
fill that thing up.
I was ready to get in the tub, and it was like ankle deep. It was like ankle deep.
It was a little
And
bit more
I was
than
like,
ankle
I
deep.
need water in order to push this
It was
baby
a
out.
little bit more than ankle deep, but yes, it was not
Because
at
the
the right
goal was
level.
to get it to like my belly button. And
At
it
least.
wasn't even hitting my knees yet.
Not yet. I mean, between filling it up between the contractions, figuring out like which ports needed to be filled still.
Oh my gosh, it was
and then
terrible.
hooking up the hose to the shower and realizing that it was barely long enough to reach.
We had so many issues.
Yeah.
So like, what advice would you give?
Man, I mean, not even a pro tip. Amateur tip, fill that bathtub up, at least blow it up beforehand. So for the fourth one, I blew it up beforehand, and I tried my best. I was like, okay, I gotta get the water in there early, gotta make sure I got the hot water, the boiled water kettle, so I could pour hot water in the thing and keep it nice and warm. So I got ready for it. But amateur tip, make sure it is blown up well in advance.
And fill it up early. It's okay to have water in there early because you can always heat the water up.
Yep. Don't fill it all the way up, but fill it up high enough, and then have hot water that you can add to it in order to get the temperature right.
Yes, that will save.
That's the way to do it.
A lot of trouble.
Yeah, or if you got like a birth attendant or someone there that's going to support, the partner can focus on the coaching and getting through contractions,
and the midwives or whoever.
The helper can help to make sure that the tub is ready. Got to get to that thing early because it takes a long time. It's a lot of water.
It's a lot of water, and I mean, we can do a whole nother video about like how to prep for home births, but that was definitely surprising just how much went into getting that birth tub prepped.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was way more involved than I thought it would be.
All right, guys, so those were the 5 things that surprised us in labor. If you've had a baby, let us know in the comments what caught you off guard.
And if this is your first time, hopefully you feel a little bit more prepared.
And if you want to feel really prepared, again, we want to invite you to our online childbirth class, our Birth Room Academy. We'll teach you everything that you need to know, what to expect, relaxation techniques, comfort, how to get through labor contractions every step of the way so that you guys will be able to coach just like Steven coached me.
So make sure to click the link in the description, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this video with expectant parents that you know and anyone who can share a laugh.